Tiger Stadium, Detroit, Michigan.
Riley! Riley! Touchdown, Lions, Barry Sanders.
Bobby Lane fades to fire another aerial.
Pocket hole, throw, got a man inside the 10. Calvin Johnson dives. Touchdown, Detroit Lions. Welcome to the NFL, rookie.
Disassembled by Detroit's Silver Rush defense.
Back goes Kramer to throw right now. Long for Willie Green. He adjusts. Touchdown! What a catch by Willie Green!
Billy Sims following Dexter Bussey. Goes outside to the 5. Touchdown!
Stafford in the gun will throw.
The score is now 59-14. The Detroit Lions are champions of the National Football League.
He dives in for the touchdown. Did he get it? Yes, sir, he did. Touchdown, Detroit Lions.
This is Lions Today.
With the 8th pick in the 2019 NFL Draft, the Detroit Lions select T.J. Hockenson.
And the championship drought continues. Welcome to the program. Doug Warren here on the Spotlight Radio Network. And yeah. I thought I wouldn't be as mad as I was last night, but I'm more pissed now than I was even when the draft pick happened. It is absolutely inexcusable, and it shows finally once and for all. I was hoping it'd be different, but Bob Quinn is incompetent. You do not pick a tight end in the top 10, period, end of discussion. I've been talking about it for 2 months. And we're going to go over the history of this again because I got points to make. And I know what they're trying to do. And I'm going to point out what I think the Lions are trying to do with this. With the 2 tight end sets. They're trying to replicate what they did for 3 years in New England. And I'm going to show you why that's a tall task with the guys that they have in place. But defense wins championships. Period. It happens in every sport. There is no reason the Lions should not have drafted defense in that spot last night, especially after what happened with the rest of the draft ahead of them. All the stuff that happened. There's one team that understands it, the Pittsburgh Steelers. Kevin Colbert, their general manager, who was with the Lions in their front office as director of pro scouting from 1990 to 1999. Some of you might not have been alive then. I was. That was the greatest era of Detroit Lions football in my life, 1990 to 99. 2 division titles, multiple Pro Bowlers, Barry Sanders, Chris Spielman, all that stuff. That was the only time the Lions ever did anything. Multiple playoff appearances. Yeah, they lost most of the playoff games, but at least they were there. Kevin Colbert goes to the Pittsburgh Steelers in 2000. Director of football operations. Leaves Detroit. Later takes his mentor, Ron Hughes, who had been in the front office of the Lions in the scouting department since the 80s. They go to the Pittsburgh Steelers. The Steelers win 2 Super Bowls. They draft Ben Roethlisberger. They draft Troy Polamalu. The list goes on and on. Kevin Colbert should be in the Lions front office to this day. That's part of why I'm so pissed. Because this goes way back for decades. The incompetence of the Ford family. Doesn't matter if it's the husband or the wife or whoever the hell they hire. It's the people they don't hire, the people they let get away in the front office. That's what drives me nuts. It's like a curse being the historian for this team. Somebody's got to do it. I feel an obligation to do it now. But it's days like last night and the 12 or whatever hours since then, thinking about it, just drives me crazy. It's like I feel like Al Pacino in the damn Godfather. Every time I try to get out, they pull me back in. That's what I feel like today. It pisses me off. Kevin Colbert last night with the Steelers, 2 Super Bowl rings on his finger. One of them, by the way, was one in Detroit. Remember that? Super Bowl 40 at Ford Field. The Steelers come in and win it. I was told this story by 2 people. First, Charlie Batch, who was on that Steelers team and, of course, a former Lion, a draft pick of Kevin Colbert and Ron Hughes. There were about 8 former Lions on that Steelers team in the front office and on the field. Batch told the story on the Drive with Jack and Tom about 3, 4 years ago. We had him on as a guest. They all went on that field, that Ford Field together. All the former Lions took a picture, sent it to Matt Millen, and said, thanks for not believing in us. Because they got a Super Bowl ring with Pittsburgh. I saw Kevin Colbert personally last year when I was at the Oklahoma-West Virginia game in Morgantown. I asked him after the game. I told him Charlie Batch's story. I said, I hope things work out with Le'Veon Bell. Of course it didn't. I'm making conversation with the guy. But I asked him specifically about that picture. You should have seen the smile on Kevin Colbert's face. He said, yeah, that was a good time. That was nice. That's basically what the guy said. Okay? The Lions screwed up. The guy running the Pittsburgh Steelers should be the one running the Lions. If he was running the Lions last night, this pick doesn't happen. But instead, Bob Quinn, trying to replicate what they've done in New England West, screws up and drafts a tight end, a luxury pick that nobody in their right mind would have made. I don't care if TJ Hockenson is the second coming to Charlie Sanders. It's a stupid pick. You're going to put another ornament under the tree for Matt Stafford. He needs more offensive help. How about he picks up the slack and makes guys around him better for once in his career? Can we have him do that? You ain't doing jack squat in this division, let alone the NFC, until you fix your defense. Until you have linebackers who race around and annihilate people on the defensive side of the ball. Until you have a bookend corner for Darius Slay. Until you have a pass rush that strikes fear in the hearts of opposing quarterbacks and offensive coordinators. You got none of that right now. The 10th ranked defense last year was smoke and mirrors. Until you address the defense, it ain't happening. Colbert last night with Pittsburgh trades 3 picks. He swaps picks with Denver in the first round and then gives up a second and a third rounder to move up and get a transcendent defensive player in Devin Bush from Michigan. A guy who I talked about all week. I would have liked to see Devin White. The Buccaneers, with a guy who knows what the hell he's doing, and Bruce Arians, they make the correct pick at 5 and take Devin White off the board. Next up comes the Giants. Dave Gettleman. Lots of questions about him going into last night. Not anymore. He's in the moron zone like your Bob Quinn. He takes, of all people, Daniel Jones, who stinks. That's a whole nother thing. You're mad as a Lions fan? Thank God you ain't a Giants fan, because they are absolutely clueless. So that gives another chance for the Lions. Now we're at pick number 7. Josh Allen, Ed Oliver, and Devin Bush are on the board. The Jaguars come to their senses and take Josh Allen. Got to give credit to Tom Coughlin. All the mock drafts had them taking an offensive lineman. They said, no, we're going to take a guy who's going to help our defense, because Tom Coughlin understands it. Tom Coughlin's got 2 Super Bowl rings as a head coach, and I think a couple more as an assistant with the New York Giants under Bill Parcells. I don't always like what Tom Coughlin does, but hey, the dude's got the rings. You got to give him credit. So the Lions are sitting there at 8. I'm thinking, okay, Ed Oliver. A lot of people comparing Ed Oliver to Aaron Donald. Remember him? That's the guy the Lions should have taken when Martin Mayhew was the damn GM. Instead, they take a tight end. They go to the tight end well, which doesn't work. And I'm going to tell you why it doesn't work historically as the show goes on. Hopefully I don't lose my voice before then. So the Lions take Hockenson. I don't care that the guy had 1 drop last year and 69 targets. I don't care that he can block out the sun. You ain't winning anything until you have defense, okay? And Hockenson better be the second coming to Charlie Sanders, Rob Gronkowski, Tony Gonzalez, Mike Ditka. He better be in that realm, okay? You better be an 80-catch, 1,000-yard-a-year guy. And you better block like Mark Bavaro if you're going to justify this pick. That's a tall order for a guy. I got nothing against TJ Hockenson. He's behind the 8 ball right now with everybody. Last night at the Lions' own viewing party in Allen Park, where season ticket holders are there watching the draft, some of them, you could hear them moaning in agony when they made this damn pick. It's an asinine pick. It shows the incompetence, and quite frankly, I hope I'm wrong. I'd love to eat some crow. I'll eat crow for the next decade. I'll go to TJ Hockenson's Hall of Fame induction if the son of a bitch makes it there in 20 years. I swear to God I will. I'll apologize to him in the locker room at some point. I'll get a credential and go down there and say, you know what, I was wrong about you, buddy. You're pretty damn good. Hawkeye power, or whatever the hell they say out in Iowa. I'm not afraid to admit I'm wrong. But you can tell I feel pretty strongly about this. It's absolutely asinine. And now, immediately after the Lions pick, the Buffalo Bills take Ed Oliver, and as I said, the Pittsburgh Steelers trade up 10 spots to take Devin Bush. Two guys who would have immediately helped the Lions defense become a little bit closer to the Chicago Bears. The Green Bay Packers addressed their defense. Now, I don't like the pick they made at 12 with Rashawn Gary, but they've been going after the defensive side of the ball all this offseason. They understand what they need to do. They're looking down south of them in Chicago and seeing a defense that's a championship-level defense. They understand that you need to have defense to win a championship, like the Pittsburgh Steelers. Meanwhile, the Lions are still just trying to find more trinkets under the tree for Matt Stafford, the guy who's probably overpaid and hasn't done jack squat. And I feel bad saying that because he's the best quarterback they've had in 61 seasons, and it ain't even close. I'd love to see Stafford get some victories before he's done. I don't know if that's going to happen because he's surrounded by idiots. Matt Millen, he was gone by then. Martin Mayhew, dummy, you're fired. Now we got Bob Quinn and Matt Patricia. We'll see. This is going to be a real telling year. You got another 6-10, 7-9 season. The Lions better make the playoffs. They better be in the playoff hunt in December, or there are going to be a lot of pissed off people. And Martha Quinn might be one of them. We'll be back after this. I'm going to talk more about this when we come back. I doubt I'll be happier after the break. Stay tuned. You're listening to Lions Today on the Spotlight Radio Network, spotlightradionetwork.com.
Pure Green Lawn and Tree Professionals, your local experts meeting all of your lawn and tree care needs. If you have trouble with stubborn weeds, crabgrass, or just poor color, call 517-703-1111. No high-pressure sales, just knowledge and amazing customer service with many programs available to meet your individual needs. Visit us on the web at puregreenlawn.net to have one of our team members meet with you to figure out a simple, inexpensive solution.
Would you or someone you know love to make a difference in the lives of kids and get paid for it? Dean Transportation is now hiring responsible and caring school bus drivers. You'll earn a competitive benefits package, 401k, paid time off, and we offer flexible scheduling. Excellent driving history required. Paid CDL training provided. Apply now at deantransportation.com/jobs. That's deantransportation.com/jobs. Make a difference in the lives of our kids and get paid to do it.
If you're looking for a stylish, modern American dining experience or a bar to watch the game with a neighborhood feel, Cask & Company and Front 43 are the places for you. Cask & Company is a chef-driven, casual eatery and bar, perfect for both sushi and cocktails and burgers and beers. With more than 30 60-inch LED TVs, perfect for watching the game. Front 43 next door offers the same diverse and exquisite menu in a sports bar with one of the best television setups you'll find. Enjoy a daily lunch buffet from 11 to 3. Happy hour specials on drinks and appetizers and music bingo from 7 to 9 on Thursday nights. Come visit Cask & Company and Front 43 at 3415 East Saginaw and Lansing, just north of Frandor.
Every young person needs affordable access to college or career training after high school. The Lansing Promise provides that access with place-based scholarships within the Lansing School District boundaries. Eligible scholars can receive tuition assistance over a 4-year window to complete their associate's degree, become certified in a skilled or professional trade at Lansing Community College, or a comparable award toward their first 2 years at Michigan State or Olivet College. The Lansing Promise, changing the outcome of an entire generation. Find out more at lansingpromise.org. That's lansingpromise.org.
You're listening to Lions Today, a Spotlight production. This is Doug Warren with a Spotlight Sports Minute. Well, Bob Quinn screwed up last night in the first round of the NFL Draft, taking a tight end, a luxury pick, with the 8th pick, TJ Hockenson of Iowa. Meanwhile, Kevin Colbert, the general manager of the Pittsburgh Steelers, who was the Detroit Lions pro scouting director from 1990 to 1999, traded 3 picks to move up from 20 to 10 to take Devin Bush. Defense wins championships. Kevin Colbert has 2 Super Bowl rings with the Steelers. He understands that. Meanwhile, the Lions are still trying to get little trinkets on the Christmas tree for Matt Stafford. They will continue to lose, and Bob Quinn will eventually be fired for his incompetence. I'm Doug Warren.
The Spotlight Sports Minute, a production of the Spotlight Radio Network. For more, go to SpotlightRadioNetwork.com. The future of radio is here.
NBC News Radio, I'm Mark Mayfield. According to President Trump, Joe Biden is not the brightest bulb. He made that remark during an interview on Fox News' Sean Hannity show on Thursday night. Biden had announced earlier Thursday he is running for president. Trump tried to draw a contrast between where the country is today and where it was when Biden was vice president. Trump claimed that the United States is respected again. And Joe Biden was asked why former President Obama has not yet endorsed him.
I asked President Obama not to endorse, and he doesn't want to. Whoever wins this nomination should win it on their own merits.
Speaking yesterday at the Amtrak station in Delaware, the former VP says it's going to be up to Democrats to decide if he's the best choice to beat President Trump. Biden rolled out his presidential campaign with an online video Thursday morning challenging Trump's moral leadership. Last night, Biden was at the Philadelphia home of Comcast executive David Cohen for a big dollar fundraiser. Mark Mayfield, NBC News Radio.
You're listening to Lions Today.
Knock it off with them negative waves. Why don't you say something righteous and hopeful for a change?
SpotlightRadioNetwork.com.
Eighth pick in the 2019 NFL Draft, the Detroit Lions select T.J. Hockenson.
No!
Yeah, there you go. That's at the Lions watch party in Allen Park last night at their headquarters. I don't know if that was Bob Quinn. We couldn't hear on the couldn't see it on the video. But your own fans, your own season ticket holders know that you just jabbed them in the gut with a sharp object, a shank. You shanked them again, Bob. Just like your predecessors. Idiocy. Unbelievable. This dude better be the second coming of Charlie Sanders, man. Or your ass is going to be in a sling. This is an asinine pick. Stupid. Never pick a tight end in the first round. It doesn't work. The odds are stacked against you. 2018, last year, Hayden Hurst, drafted by the Baltimore Ravens. He's hurt. Jury's still out on him. 3 guys in the first round in 2017. O.J. Howard, Evan Ingram, David Njoku. Njoku picked 29th by the Browns. The Browns get to the Super Bowl and win a Super Bowl, and David Njoku's the MVP. Okay, I'll be wrong. We'll see if that happens. First round in nobody in 16 or 15. First round in 2014. Oh, you'll remember this one. Eric Ebron. Yeah, get the vomit bags out. That worked out real good. That's why one reason why Martin Mayhew got canned. Stupid pick. Aaron Donald afterwards. Odell Beckham Jr. afterwards. Ryan Shazier, picked by Pittsburgh after that. Taylor Lewan, picked by the Titans. Zach Martin, picked by the Cowboys. All those guys picked after Eric Ebron. All those guys in the Pro Bowl. Zach Martin became the first rookie guard in NFL history since 1947 to be voted All-Pro as a rookie. We all know how good Aaron Donald is. Meanwhile, Eric Ebron, Butterfingers City, here and in Indianapolis. Don't let the touchdowns last year fool you. The dude still dropped passes like it's his job. 2013, Tyler Eifert, picked by Cincinnati at 21. Didn't work out. You don't do it. It's dumb. He was injury prone. Nobody picked in 2012. In 2011, nobody picked in the first round. The second round, the Vikings picked Kyle Rudolph, 43rd overall. Good pick. What's the key? He wasn't picked in the first round. First round in 2010, Jermaine Gresham. He's on a milk carton somewhere, isn't he? Picked 21st by the Bengals. Oh, 2009, here's another first round pick. by your Detroit Lions, Brandon Pettigrew. Picked 20th. He could block pretty good, but he had hands of stone like Eric Ebron. 2008, New York Jets take Dustin Keller, 30th overall. That didn't work out real well. Here's a good one. Picked 31st in 2007. Greg Olson, originally of the Bears, more famously with the Carolina Panthers. Damn good player. He's one of the exceptions to the no tight end rule. I'll give you that one. Vernon Davis, picked 6th overall by the Niners in 2006. We'll debate that one. Was he worth the 6th pick? Hell no, but he was pretty decent. Marcedes Lewis, picked by Jacksonville, 28th overall that year. Bad pick. 2005, the Pittsburgh Steelers take Heath Miller, 30th overall. Good pick. One of the exceptions. But you see the trend here. You're hitting on about 20%. Here's a great one. A good one and a bad one. 6th overall by Cleveland in 2004, Kellen Winslow Jr., not the Hall of Famer from the San Diego Chargers, but his bum of a son who played for Cleveland and played poorly. Bust. Ben Watson taken 32nd that year by the New England Patriots. Pretty damn good player. I'll give you that one too. But again, you going to see Ben Watson in the Hall of Fame someday? No. Top 10 picks are supposed to be all pros and Hall of Famers, regardless of the position. Again, if TJ Hockenson's the second coming to Charlie Sanders and he's going to have a gold jacket someday in Canton, Ohio, and be multi-time All-Pro and be one of the top 5 tight ends in the NFL in 5 years, I'll eat crow, okay? I'll eat the proverbial crow, and I'll apologize to TJ Hockenson in person. Dallas Clark, taken by the Indianapolis Colts in 2003. Now, there's a good pick. Ooh, here's a guy from Iowa. Maybe we can go to that well. Maybe the Iowa Juju will come here to Detroit. We'll see. He was picked 24th by the Colts. 2002, Jeremy Shockey, picked 14th overall by the Giants. Daniel Graham, 21st by the Patriots. Jeremy Stevens, 28th by Seattle. The only guy who really amounted to much, Jeremy Shockey, 14th overall. Won a Super Bowl with New Orleans. I wouldn't have made that pick. Here's a decent one. 2001, 31st overall. Again, not 10th overall, not 8th overall, 31st overall. And the Baltimore Ravens, by the way, who picked Todd Heap, were coming off a Super Bowl championship. Again, my idea is tight end is a luxury pick. The Baltimore Ravens got Super Bowl rings. They have a trophy. Let's take a tight end. It's a luxury pick. We're world champions. We'll take Todd Heap. He turned out to be pretty good. But again, pick 31st. 2000, Bubba Franks, picked by the Packers, 14th overall. So-so career. 27th, Anthony Beck, picked by the Jets. No, bad pick. Nobody picked in 99 in the first round, or in 98. First rounder in 1997. Here's a home run. Maybe TJ Hockenson to be as good as this guy. Let's hope so. 13th overall by Kansas City, Tony Gonzalez. He's in Canton. Let's all keep our Lions fans' fingers crossed that TJ Hockenson joins them someday. Another pick, David LaFleur, 22nd overall by the Cowboys. He was no Jason Witten. Jason Witten, by the way, was a third-round pick. You don't need to pick a tight end in the top 10 to get a damn good one. We'll stop after 1996. No, make it 95. 96, Ricky Dudley. Boy, he was a great pick. Nice job, Al Davis. Picked 9th overall by the Raiders. Bad Al Davis made that pick. Ricky Dudley stunk. 95, here's a great pick at number 9 by the Jets. Kyle Brady out of Penn State. Jets fans still have PTSD from that one. 27th pick, Mark Bruner, picked by the Steelers. He was decent, but again, the Steelers were a Super Bowl contender at that time. A luxury pick. 27th overall, they pick a tight end out of Washington. You get my point. The Lions aren't in a position to have luxury picks. They aren't in a position to draft tight ends right now when their defense blows and they don't have any pass rush and they don't have a bookend corner for Darius Slay and their back seven is as thin as Swiss cheese. And you did it last year with duct tape and New York Giants cast-offs. and got your defense with smoke and mirrors to 10th. You think you're going to do that again? You're that good of a coaching staff? I doubt it. You better draft defense tonight. You got 3 chances to hit on something. You better draft defense tonight because your defense isn't going to do anything close to what they did last year unless you get more talent on that field. We'll be back after this. Lions Today continues on the Spotlight Radio Network, SpotlightRadioNetwork.com.
You're connected to Business Wrap in a snap.
Hi, this is Luke Mardigan, and my show is called Be Insured. And we talk about everything related to insurance. So if you're looking at your auto policy and you're wondering, why did my rate go up? You're not alone. Auto insurance rates in Michigan and across the country have been historically higher than ever. And unfortunately, they're only getting more expensive. But why? I chat with the experts to uncover what factors are causing your rates to rise and what you can do to save more money. Some of the items we talked about were liability and why liability claims are becoming not only more frequent, but more expensive. And this has to do with recent changes in the law and the interpretation of the law and how it applies to you. So if someone's hurt in a car accident, they tend to get more money from the insurance companies today than they did 10 years ago. Another reason why costs are rising is because of physical damage. It costs more to repair your vehicle today than it ever has before. We're getting more technology in cars. That technology costs money. So if you have a car with the bells and whistles, it's just going to be more expensive to repair. We also talked about rising medical costs. In Michigan, we actually have unlimited medical costs in our auto policy. That's not true of every state. Some states only have $20,000. In Michigan, it's unlimited. Well, unlimited is a lot of money. And so when you start having claims go up into the $1 million range, it's going to raise rates for everybody. It's all happening over on my show. Be Insured with Luke Mardigan. You don't want to miss it. Find out why your auto insurance is getting more expensive.
For more in-depth business discussion on this topic and many more, go to businesswrap.biz. Also, download the free one-touch Business Wrap app by searching Business Wrap on the Apple App Store or Google Play. And from our founder, Suzanne Heward,
that's a wrap.
You're listening to Lions Today.
Take him to Detroit.
No! No, not Detroit! No! No, please! Anything but that! No!
SpotlightRadioNetwork.com. So the Lions tonight have the 11th pick of the second round, 43rd overall. The third round pick, 25th pick in the third round. That's 88 overall. That comes from the Philadelphia trade they made for Golden Tate. Fourth round pick tonight for the Lions, 111th overall, the 9th pick of the fourth round. Bob Quinn's got 3 chances to make up for his blunder last night. Don't have a lot of confidence right now. I hope you understand. So, what are the Lions trying to do with this? Why did they pick T.J. Hockenson and sign Jesse James, the $5 million man, this offseason? You go back to what the New England Patriots did in 2010 through 2012. They had a 2 tight end offense centered around Rob Gronkowski and Aaron Hernandez, who they both drafted in 2010. Gronkowski was a second round pick, 42nd overall. Aaron Hernandez out of Florida, 4th round pick, 113th overall. This is what I think the Patriots the Lions are trying to do. They're trying to duplicate that with T.J. Hockenson and Jesse James. Good luck. Jesse James, so far in his career, he was with Pittsburgh in 2015 through last season. 8 receptions, 39 receptions, 43 receptions, and 30 receptions last year. His best season was last year, statistically overall. 39 catches. Those are targets. 30 catches last year, 423 yards, 14.1 average, and 2 TDs. Prior to that, he never averaged over 9 yards a catch and never had more than 3 touchdowns in a season for the Steelers. So let's just, for argument's sake, say that Aside from the murder stuff, the off-the-field stuff, the Lions are hoping that Jesse James can become Aaron Hernandez in this offense. And they're hoping T.J. Hockenson becomes Rob Gronkowski. Or maybe just a poor man's version of Gronk. Would we settle for that? Gronkowski is a rookie. Gronk, 42 catches, 546 yards, 10 touchdowns, 13 yards per catch. His second season, the breakout year. 90 catches, 1,324 yards, 17 TDs, 14.7 yards per catch. And then in 2012, 55 catches, 790 yards, 11 touchdowns for Gronk. Again, over 14 yards a catch. So, those 3 seasons that Hernandez and Gronkowski were together in New England, they had a combined 362 receptions, 4,616 yards, 56 touchdowns, and a 12.75 yards per catch average. If you guys think that T.J. Hockenson and Jesse James are going to go anywhere near those numbers, you better get off the crack pipe, okay? It ain't happening. And again, if it does, I'll admit I'm wrong. But I'll be shocked if those guys put up numbers anywhere near close to that in Darrell Bevell's offense. In an era where teams are throwing the football all over the field, you're going to play 2 tight end football like it's 2010. I'll believe it's going to work when I see it. This makes no sense. This draft is absolutely stacked with defense. And you had a guy, Ed Oliver, who would have been a top 10 pick in the NFL draft if he'd have come out after his freshman year at Houston. That's how good this dude is. And you skipped over him and let him go to the Bills. You can say, well, the Lions already have 3 defensive tackles. They might only have 2 next year, after next season. Are they going to re-sign A'Shawn Robinson, or is he going to be too expensive? If they don't re-sign him, then you're down to 2 guys, and you need to get another backup. So they're going to have to go back to the defensive tackle well next year, right? I cannot believe the Lions took a tight end, man. It is unbelievable. And T.J. Hockenson is going to get, like Jason Nick said, he's going to be like the Luke Kennard of the Lions now. It's not even his fault. But if this guy doesn't produce at an all-pro level, he's never going to live up to the billing and the position that the Lions have put him in. He's in a no-win position unless he just is absolutely lights out. It's unbelievable. But this is apparently what the Lions are going to do. 2 tight ends, run the football. I don't have a problem with that, as long as your defense is at a championship level, and it's not. Why do I have a feeling that the Lions, with their three picks tonight, are going to take a guard and a wide receiver and then address like corner or something? There's going to be no edge rushing help coming in. There's going to be no linebacking help coming in. You think you're going to get the same kind of production next year out of Christian Jones, Devin Kennard, and Jared Davis? Romeo Okwara is going to surpass his sack total from last year? I mean, I'd love to see it happen. These guys had career years last year. You going to bank on them doing that again? These aren't household names we're talking about here. They're cast-offs from the Giants, who just picked Daniel Jones as the heir apparent to Eli Manning. So who do the Lions go for tonight? A lot of people are saying they're going to go corner. They have the 11th pick in the second round. Is Greedy Williams going to be there? They're going to go with Justin Lane? They're going to go somewhere else? I hope it's defensively. I still have such a hard time believing they could not take Ed Oliver. And by the way, the Steelers, I mean, they targeted Devin Bush since he was a sophomore last year. Colbert said it last night. They've been wanting to replace Ryan Shazier, who was a great pick but had that horrible neck injury, broken neck. He'll never play football again. Wish him all the best. He's walking again, but you know, the Steelers' defense wasn't the same once he was injured. But Bush is going to be a tremendous player for Pittsburgh. A lot of mock drafts I had the last couple of weeks saw him going to Pittsburgh at 20. Pittsburgh wasn't going to take a chance. They invested big-time capital and went up 10 spots to get him. Bob Quinn, by the way, was asked last night if Hockenson had been off the board at 8, would the Lions have taken Ed Oliver? He refused to answer that question. These are the kind of picks that get you fired. Just ask Martin Mayhew. You could say, Bob Quinn can talk all day about how he wasn't here to make the Eric Ebron pick. Doesn't matter. You're part of the history of the team. And we've been hearing for years from the new general manager, the new head coach, the new players who come in, they didn't have anything to do with it. It doesn't matter to the fans. You heard the fan there. You heard the fan last night. The guy's in absolute agony.
In the 2019 NFL Draft, the Detroit Lions select T.J. Hockenson. No!
Yeah, I bet that guy's glad he sent his season ticket check in again this year. It's on you now, Bob Quinn. You're carrying all the baggage. Because you're the one who's supposed to break the drought. 1957 and counting. It doesn't matter if you weren't here. You're the guy carrying the bags now. You're the guy everybody put their hopes on to fix this thing. And you're not inspiring a lot of confidence with your decision making. I mean, I'm trying to give Matt Patricia the benefit of the doubt. The defense did get better at the end of last season. But there's a lot of people I know, a lot of fans, media, they think you made a terrible hire with Patricia. I have a hard time arguing it. Early returns are the guy's a bum. And not just because of the way he dresses and doesn't shave, like he's hanging out with Tom Hanks on the island with Wilson there, stranded. You dress like a slob, you leave a bad impression on people. And your team played slobbishly for much of the season last year. 6-10 after 2 straight 9-7 years. You're not inspiring a lot of confidence. But you're the guy who's supposed to end this. You're the one who's supposed to get this team turned around. You're the one who's supposed to maximize Matt Stafford. You're the one who's supposed to build a championship defense. You're the one who's supposed to erase the memory of 0-16. You're the one who's supposed to erase the memory of bad draft picks. 3 straight wide receivers of the Millen era. Eddie Murray's missed field goal in 83 against the Niners. Barry Sanders, 13 carries, -1 yard. All that stuff. Every one of those bad memories for Lions fans rests on the new guy, the new regime. Whether you like it or not, that comes with the territory. That is what happens here. You think Steve Yzerman liked carrying that baggage? All those years without a title for the Wings? I know he didn't like it. You could see how it wore on the guy. You think Scotty Bowman liked it coming in here? He took the challenge, but it didn't happen right away. What was it, in 95 they get their asses kicked in the Stanley Cup final by New Jersey of all teams? The Red Wings had the weight of the world on their shoulders, the weight of the whole city on their shoulders trying to end that drought. They hadn't won a championship since Gordie Howe and Ted Lindsay were skating around at Olympia. But they did it. They finally did it. And I don't remember them shying away from it. I don't remember them shying away from it and saying it wasn't my fault. They just dealt with it. Whether you like it or not, you are the guy leading this franchise right now. And you got to carry all that baggage of lost seasons, busted hopes. You need to. That's part of the job. That's what you're getting paid for. So don't run away from it. And all the players on the team, I wasn't here then. I've heard that crap for years. Doesn't matter. You are the ones who are supposed to end it. And when you play bad, and when you draft bad, and when you coach bad, and when you look like a bum, and you act like a bum, and your team plays like crap, you are carrying the baggage. And you're going to get it thrown at you. By the fans, by the media, by everybody who's been around here dealing with this stuff. By generations of Lions fans who've been waiting since 1957 to have a team that they could be proud of. So that when they wear their hat someplace, or they wear their T-shirt that says Lions on it, or they go somewhere on vacation and they start talking football, they don't get laughed at when they say, oh yeah, we're from Detroit. Like it or not, you're the one carrying that baggage now. That came with the job. You took the Lions job, you're the guy people want to see end it. And after last night's pick, it's hard for me to defend you anymore, man. I've tried, but it's real hard. I hope I'm wrong. I'd love for you to prove me wrong. We'll be back after this. The final segment of today's show, Lions Today, on the Spotlight Radio Network, spotlightradionetwork.com.
When it's your moment, that once-in-a-lifetime moment, you don't just want jewelry. You can get that anywhere. You want a memory that will go down in history, your moment. We're Medawar, crafted with exquisite style, quality, and love, so your present will be stunning every time you look at it, every time someone notices it, and they will notice. We've devoted our lives to this art, and we're proud to share it with you. The gift you want to give is here.
Medawar Jewelers in Lansing, Okemos, Jackson, Portage, and Brighton.
Beat the summer heat and the winter cold with a new Carrier high-efficiency comfort system installed by Doty Mechanical. Doty Mechanical is your preferred Carrier factory-authorized dealer, installing and servicing Carrier products in mid-Michigan for over 30 years. With Carrier Cool Cash and utility rebates, save money and energy at the same time.
Call Doty Mechanical today at 327-7777 for your free estimate. For heating and cooling, the names to know, Doty Mechanical and Carrier. Turn to the experts.
Every young person needs affordable access to college or career training after high school. The Lansing Promise provides that access with place-based scholarships within the Lansing School District boundaries. Eligible scholars can receive tuition assistance over a 4-year window to complete their associate's degree, become certified in a skilled or professional trade at Lansing Community College, or a comparable award toward their first 2 years at Michigan State or Olivet College. The Lansing Promise, changing the outcome of an entire generation. Find out more at lansingpromise.org. That's lansingpromise.org.
It's time for Did You Know, brought to you by the Greater Lansing Sports Authority. Did you know that with just the sports events coordinated by the GLSA, over 75,000 athletes are brought to Greater Lansing every year? Add to that family, friends, and hundreds of thousands of spectators, and you've got a significant impact on the local economy. That's millions of dollars over the last 10 years. Are you involved in a sports event that could be a fit for Greater Lansing? Find more information at lansingsports.org. And now you know.
You're listening to Lions Today, a Spotlight production.
This is Rico Beard for the Spotlight Sports Minute. Those who do not learn from their history are bound to repeat it. Case study, the Detroit Lions. In 2014, the Detroit Lions selected tight end Eric Ebron. Who did they pass on? Well, Aaron Donald, Odell Beckham Jr., and Taylor Lewan. All three guys have gone on to become Pro Bowlers. This year, the Lions decided, hey, It worked for us the last time. Why don't we take another tight end, TJ Hockenson? And who did they pass on? Well, Ed Oliver. They passed on Dwayne Haskins. Let's hope history does not repeat itself, Lions, but something tells me it will. Why? Because you're the Lions. Hence, same old Lions. The Lions will always do what the Lions do. I'm Rico Beard.
The Spotlight Sports Minute, a production of the Spotlight Radio Network. For more, go to SpotlightRadioNetwork.com. The future of radio is here.
NBC News Radio, I'm Tom Roberts. President Trump is announcing the U.S. will withdraw from the International Arms Trade Treaty.
Under my administration, we will never surrender American sovereignty to anyone.
At an NRA summit in Indianapolis today, Trump said he will ask the Senate to stop the treaty ratification process. Former Vice President Joe Biden is not apologizing to several women who have accused him of inappropriate touching. During ABC's The View today, the Democratic presidential candidate defended his public displays of affection as a means of connecting with people. 4 people are confirmed dead following a massive crash on I-70 outside of Denver yesterday afternoon. Lakewood police say Raquel Aguilera Medeiros was traveling in a semi-truck hauling lumber when he slammed into backed-up traffic. The legal team for New England Patriots owner Robert Kraft is working today to convince a Florida judge to toss videos police say show Kraft paying for sex. Prosecutors say the videos show Kraft doing so at a massage parlor. Tom Roberts, NBC News Radio.
You're listening to Lions Today.
One time, baby. One time.
SpotlightRadioNetwork.com. Welcome back to the program. As always, you can chime in on Twitter at Lions Today, on Facebook Live at Lions Today with Doug Warren. A little animated today. Good thing I didn't stand up. Try to stay seated for the show. Used to stand up back in the old DJ days. Mostly it was overnight, try to stay awake, but a little bit angry today. Maybe it'll start to wear off. The last 45 minutes or so, it's been helpful. I feel better. Multiple sources say that Miami Dolphins are close to a deal for quarterback Josh Rosen. That deal may actually be tentatively done. Arizona would get pick number 48 from Miami if that trade goes down. That's from Pro Football Talk and other multiple sources. Other sources, I should say. That'd be a good deal, man. Rosen, the 10th overall pick last year by the previous Arizona regime. And Miami would get their quarterback. Hope things work out well for Rosen. I'm not a big fan of his. Again, like I said last year, I thought he was at least, at best, the 4th best quarterback of that group last year behind Sam Darnold, Baker Mayfield, and Lamar Jackson, who I thought Jackson was the best. But Mayfield and Darnold proven to be really good players in their rookie seasons. So I think Rosen, if he gets a fresh start somewhere, good for him. Hope it works out for him. Where will the Lions go tonight? I hope they go defense. Hope they go heavy defense. I wouldn't mind them going all 3 picks with defense since they screwed up last night. But we'll have to see. Are they going to have enough draft capital if they want to move up? Last night, after the pick was made, both Adam Schefter and Gil Brandt said the Lions had received calls to trade out, but they decided to pick instead. They liked Hockenson that much. Unbelievable. Bob Quinn said he was looking to trade down. The last couple of weeks made it very clear. I wonder who was trying to trade up. Was it the Steelers? Were they that worried about losing Devin Bush? You swap picks with the Steelers, they move down to 20, and you get a couple extra picks? I would have done that. I would have done that for sure. Lions are not in a position to reach for people. You pick a tight end in the first round, especially in the top 10, it's a reach. There's no other way to slice it. The Denver Broncos traded with the Steelers and moved from 10 to 20, and they got Noah Fant, tight end out of Iowa. So the Lions tentatively, if that was the deal that was put forth from the Steelers move up to 8. Lions move down to 10, and they'd still get a tight end. Now, Noah Fant, by most accounts, is not, by all accounts, let's be honest, is not the blocker that Hockenson is. And some people say he's got a little more of the dropsies. Okay, so let's say they don't get a tight end there. Other guys on the board at the time that the Broncos picked at 20. Darnell Savage, safety out of Maryland. That'd have been good. Offensive tackle out of Washington State, Andre Dillard. He dropped farther than people thought he was going to. Marquise Hollywood Brown. He would have been a great addition to the Lions offense. He went 25 to Baltimore. Dillard, by the way, went 22nd to the Eagles. Montez Sweat was still on the board at 20. The Redskins took him at 26. Jonathan Abram, another great safety out of Mississippi State. He went to Oakland at 27. You still could have addressed your needs if you would have traded down tentatively with the Steelers if the Steelers are one of those people calling the Lions. One of the other teams that was rumored to be calling Detroit were the Atlanta Falcons. Atlanta ultimately picked at 13. Some of the people on the board, Atlanta picked at 14. Some of the guys on the board at that time, Chris Lindstrom, Boston College guard. Brian Burns, edge rusher, Florida State, went 16th to the Panthers. Dexter Lawrence, 17th to the Giants out of Clemson. Jeffrey Simmons was still on the board, the defensive tackle out of Mississippi State. He went 19th to the Titans. And all the other guys I mentioned, all still on the board. They could have still addressed a major need, including if they wanted to tight end, by trading out of 8. This better work out. Like I said last night, this is the kind of pick that gets guys fired if it blows up in their face. Hockenson better be multiple-time Pro Bowler, potential All-Pro, and, if things really work out, in the Jason Witten, Tony Gonzalez, Rob Gronkowski mold, where he's going to be in the discussion for Canton, Ohio. You blow a top 10 pick, you deserve to be fired. In part, it cost Martin Mayhew his job. He'll never live down the Eric Ebron pick. That's a scarlet letter on that guy's career. We'll see if Hockenson turns out to be half the player that his draft stock says he's going to be. Or says he should be, I should say. I tell you what, man, if I'm wrong on Rashawn Gary, and he ends up being a stud for the Packers at 12, they picked him last night, you're going to see Rashawn Gary running around chasing Matt Stafford. If he fulfills his potential, that's another guy that's going to be haunting Bob Quinn with that damn 8th overall pick last night of Hockenson. Ed Oliver, Devin Bush, Rashawn Gary. We'll see how those guys all turn out for their respective teams. And we'll see what T.J. Hockenson does with the Lions. Poor guy's got himself behind the 8 ball by no doing of his own. A lot of pressure. But that's what they're paid to deal with. And Bob Quinn, like it or not, you and Matt Patricia, you got the whole weight of 1957 on your shoulders. It comes with the territory. You better accept it and don't run from it. This stuff about I wasn't here when Eric Ebron was picked is a bunch of hogwash. You are still part of that legacy. And everyone who comes after you will be part of that legacy until the championship drought is over. We'll be back Monday, 2 o'clock, Lions Today. Stay tuned to Spotlight Radio Network.
It's time for Did You Know, brought to you by the Greater Lansing Sports Authority. Did you know that with just the sports events coordinated by the GLSA, over 75,000 athletes are brought to Greater Lansing every year? Add to that family, friends, and hundreds of thousands of spectators, and you've got a significant impact on the local economy. That's millions of dollars over the last 10 years. Are you involved in a sports event that could be a fit for Greater Lansing? Find more information at lansingsports.org. And now you know.
When it's your moment, that once-in-a-lifetime moment, you don't just want jewelry. You can get that anywhere. You want a memory that will go down in history, your moment. We're Medawar, crafted with exquisite style, quality, and love, so your present will be stunning every time you look at it, every time someone notices it, and they will notice. We've devoted our lives to this art, and we're proud to share it with you. The gift you want to give is here.
Medawar Jewelers in Lansing, Okemos, Jackson, Portage, and Brighton.
Politics, business, sports. This is the Spotlight Radio Network, spotlightradionetwork.com.
When the year started, Kyler Murray wasn't even included in NFL mock drafts. Experts thought the Oklahoma Sooners Heisman Trophy winning quarterback was going to play baseball. After all, Murray had signed a multi-million-dollar contract with the Oakland A's. But here he is this morning, the number one pick in the NFL draft by the Arizona Cardinals.
It's a surreal feeling, but I'm more so glad that I'm going to the Cardinals, honestly. That's where I wanted to go play. And the fact that they had the number one pick, everything, God works in mysterious ways. Everything happens for a reason, and I'm just ready to go.
And in all likelihood, so too is the Cardinals' second-year quarterback Josh Rosen, just last year a first-round draft pick himself. Rosen would now appear to be on the trading block at some point in the near future. But on a day when the NFL was all